So here are the things that you should know before visiting China for the first time. Sa lahat ng na-DIY kong bansa, China na siguro yung pinaka-challenging sa lahat. So make sure to save this video so you'd know how to prepare for your trip. Number 1, China has embraced cashless payments almost everywhere. Ang major modes of payment dito ay Alipay at WeChat Pay. At dahil nga ang expectation ay meron ka ditong mga to, may mga stores na hindi na nag-a-accept ng cash. Mahirap na rin makakita ng ATM na bukas after 5 p.m. Well, meron naman, just not as many as we have in the Philippines na kabi-kabila ang ATM. Alipay na rin yung ginamit ko for the transportation. All I had to do was to click this button, generate a QR code, at iscan bago pumasok ng subway. Ganun na rin sa mga buses. Even when taking taxis, pwedeng dito na rin i-book via Alipay. Nakakonect na rin yung payment so hindi na kailangan maglabas ng cash. Kahit sa mga small stores, Alipay at WeChat Pay na yung hinahanap nila. Take note lang na may additional fee si Alipay sa mga transactions over 200 yuan. So if you can, pwede nyong paghiwa-hiwalay ng bayad kung maraming items naman yung bibilhin nyo. It is very, very important na ma-set up nyo yung Alipay at WeChat Pay before leaving the Philippines kasi magsasend pa yan ng OTP sa number nyo for verification. Hindi rin ganun ka-straightforward ang paglilink ng mga bank accounts, so make sure to set these up days before your trip to China. What helped me was being able to book most of my travel activities on Klook since I could pay them in peso using my credit card. Sa Klook ko binook yung tour ko sa Great Wall of China, one-day pass ko sa Universal Studios Beijing, at yung Shanghai Tower, the third tallest building in the world. If you're booking anything on Klook, don't forget to use my promo codes, Traveler, Klook, and 5Klook for additional discounts. Number 2, the internet in China is heavily regulated by what they call the Great Firewall of China, which is basically a set of laws and technology that is in place to control what we can and cannot access while in China. Basically, most social media platforms you are used to are blocked. Facebook, Instagram, Google Maps. Yes, Google Maps. Ito pa naman yung gamit na gamit sa atin as travelers. Although, kahit ma-access nyo naman si Google Maps dito, medyo useless din kasi inaccurate siya sa China because of certain geolocation regulations in China. What worked for me was Apple Maps na mas accurate when navigating. For Android users, some recommended Maps.me. I was able to access my social media using Wi-Fi only when I had my VPN turned on. VPN allowed me to set my location as if I was somewhere else. What worked for me was Let's VPN. Nakaka-access rin naman ako ng social media without the VPN kapag data SIM yung ginagamit ko at hindi Wi-Fi. So I think the SIM card I bought was utilizing an overseas connection. Meron rin yan sa Klook. Number 3, hotels in China are notorious for refusing foreigners. And it's not because they're being racist. Dahil yan sa public security management law for the hotel industry sa China. Because of this law in place, the hotel operators are required to register every foreigner guest they accommodate to the local authorities within 24 hours. Dahil nga may paperworks yan at may system pa silang kailangan i-access, some hotels opt to refuse foreigners instead of dealing with the paperworks. Although the Chinese government issued a statement in May 2024 that hotel operators are not allowed to refuse foreigners anymore, well, we know it still happens. Ang dami kong nakitang na-reject sila sa hotel. Even when you check Agoda or Booking.com, maraming hotels na may negative review kasi na-reject raw sila when they were trying to check in. So I booked my hotels via Trip.com for 1, because it's a Chinese company, and 2, since dito naka-indicate kung nag-a-accept sila ng foreigner dun sa hotel na yon. I stayed at 3 hotels in China, all booked via Trip.com, and have had no issues during check-in. Number 4, if you have been to Korea and Japan, you might think it would be the same in China na makasurvive kayo ng walang translator app since baka nakakaintindi naman yung majority ng basic English. Well, in China, at least as per my experience, sobrang hirap makahanap ng nag-i-English kahit very basic English lang. I'm not complaining, it was an experience. But I'd say I really wouldn't have survived without a translator app. What worked for me was Chinese Pro app, which however only works with an internet connection. So whenever I needed to request for a wake-up call at the hotel, Chinese Pro app lang nakaintindihan na kami. So if you have finally decided to book that trip to China, panoorin nyo tong video na to to help you prepare for your visa. And if you need more tips for your travels, do check out the link in my bio for more travel videos. Enjoy China!